Ladies and gentlemen of the Crownover Scholarship Committee, my name is Clint Dorrell, and I wanted to thank you for nominating me as a Crownover Scholarship finalist. Today I wanted to talk about a few things that you will not see on my resume, but which are integral to my life. I think it's important first, though, that we get some context, so let's back it up a little bit. Growing up, I grew up in South Texas. My grandfather had retired on some land, and I often visited him out there during the summers and in between school. Now out there, we worked on a lot of hard manual labor. We were taught a lot of hard life lessons, and we also participated in the great outdoors, one of which is something that has really molded my life today, and that was working with deer herds and managing them. Now, while we were out there doing that, we often worked with Texas Parks and Wildlife to bring in troubled youths or young adults who came from maybe not so great of areas or who just potentially didn't have the same opportunity as we were afforded. And we were able to bring them in and let them participate in the great outdoors and learn a few very important lessons, a few of which are responsibility, discipline, and often the value of the life that they were there to harvest, generally being a white-tailed deer. Now, this usually left a profound effect on these young individuals, and I know for a fact that it left a profound effect on me, because to this day, I still love working with youths. There's nothing better than taking them into the great outdoors, whether it's for a hike or kayaking or whatever it may be, to see nature. It's a wonderful thing, and unfortunately I feel like a lot of our youths today don't get out enough to see it. But during the hunting season, a lot of times I'm working with Texas Parks and Wildlife or clients or whoever it may be, and I go out and I guide, and my passion is to work with the kids that come. So that's something that I really enjoy doing that you wouldn't ever probably guess, because it's kind of under wraps, but there's a lot of important lessons to be taught in nature, and I think it's good for young men and women to get out there and see that. The second thing that I think really jump-started my servant leadership career, if you want to call it a career, hobby or passion, I think would be a better word, is something that's probably more relatable to most of you. When I was 15, like most young men in public schools, my identity was closely tied to the sports that I played. Namely, for me, it was football. I was a junior varsity quarterback on my way to potentially being a varsity quarterback my next year, but the man upstairs had different plans for me. At 15, I was diagnosed with Chiari malformation type 1, which in a short way is just saying that I had to have a little bit of brain surgery go on in the back of my head here. And obviously, once you have that done, getting hit in the head pretty hard playing football generally isn't the best option. So I was a little lost. As a sophomore going into his junior year, I had just lost something that was very integral to my personality. But luckily, I was afforded a phenomenal opportunity and got to start coaching youths in the South Texas Youth Football League. It ended up being one of the primary passions of my life. I absolutely loved it. Getting to teach young kids the ropes. Football is a great teacher, both in terms of physical fortitude and mental fortitude. And it was awesome to be able to get to be a part of that, because for some young men, that's a life-changing event. So, taking that, I moved into college, went to Texas A&M University, managed to get some fairly good grades there, really enjoyed my time. But while being there, joined in an organization that, to be quite honest with you, has changed the trajectory of my life. It's called One Army, and what they do there is they work with kids from a place called Still Creek Ranch. They take in kids who are from generally domestic violence situations. They're usually anywhere from 6 to 15 years old, and they're usually lost young men. We worked with the young men. There was some other organizations, female organizations, who worked with the girls that were there, but we always worked with the men. And we put on an event called Gladiator Dash. And I won't get on my soapbox about Gladiator Dash. If you're up in College Station in April, you should definitely run it, because it goes to a great cause. But what we did there is we built a mud run, essentially, and we would raise money for these kids at this school. And to this day, I still run Gladiator Dash every year. I come in no matter where I'm living that year, and I come in and we run it. I bring as many people as I possibly can, and this year we're going to be able to make a little donation to them, which I'm very proud of. Still Creek Ranch is a phenomenal place, but it's just one of many that are out there. It's just one organization that's trying to help young kids out there. That's where my real passion is at. I want to help youths. I think that in this world that we have today, there's not enough time made for kids and helping them develop, especially, being myself a man. I think that there's a lot of young men and young boys out there who need guidance, who maybe aren't getting it. And so if I was to receive the Crownover scholarship, Obviously, it would help me get through school, which is fantastic. But it also allows me to keep doing the work that I've been doing all these years, and it fast tracks me on being able to reach out to more individuals, to give Still Creek more potential money or whatever it might be, some type of help. And it also allows me to branch out. There's so many places all around the country and really around the world that need our help, and it would be phenomenal to at some point be able to have enough reach to get out there to everybody and really start making a difference on a large scale. So that's where my servant leadership started. That's where I came from. I absolutely love to work with kids. It's who I am. And with or without the scholarship, I will continue to do that to the best of my ability. I really appreciate you guys taking some time to listen to me, listen to my story, listen to where my servant heart comes from. And like I said, if you get a chance to go and visit Still Creek Ranch, it's up around Bryan, Texas, or you get a chance to contact One Army and go to Gladiator Dash if you like mud runs. If you don't, they have all kinds of stuff there. Not to turn this into a commercial, obviously, but it's something I'm very passionate about still, even though I've been graduated for a number of years. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen to me, hear my story, understand where I come from, why this stuff is so important to me, and yeah, thank you so much.